we welcome Commissioner Joe Sciarretti for his monthly visit. Good morning,
Good morning,
sir.
Steve.
How
Good
are
to see
you?
Good.
Good
It was a busy week last week with fair, and
How about that fair?
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Can you remember a week that was just
Without
almost
rain?
ideal? Perfect. I mean, sunny, warm.
Yeah.
It was a great run, and of course the attendance
was.
numbers are proving that as well.
Yes.
But you're kind of one of those
Yeah.
guys that, everybody's over there thinking about the food and the rides and the entertainment.
Oh, I'm thinking about the
But
food.
you're thinking about, but what you and Chris and Al have to think about are some of those things that need repaired. And we did have a huge project that needed taken care of at
for
the
sure.
fair, and you guys tackled that.
Yeah, and thank God for the helpful hands that were there volunteering, like Greg Kimball and a bunch of help and electricians that he brought on. Of course, the fair board, who manages the entire fair. If it wasn't for the fair board, it would not go on. Most of those people either were in 4-H or have children in 4-H. I want to say they were probably all in 4-H, the ones that I'm thinking about right now. They are without a doubt. They're the keystone that holds the fair together.
Yeah.
And to your point, the commissioners are tasked with the buildings, the barns, the upkeep, the infrastructure, like
water,
the electric
the
this
sewer,
year.
all of that, right?
The water's the big one to tackle next year. The electric was, I'm going to guess, so don't hold me to this. And of course, I heard this morning that you're posting all these, but if you can just hold me to this guesstimate, we're going to be probably there. That project for electric, the main artery lines that they're having so much trouble with. Probably the project was near $200,000,
Wow.
if not more.
Wow.
We allocated as a board of commissioners $50,000, and we get a match from the state. So every time we do that. If we don't do that, we leave $50,000 on the table, we allocate as much as we can, and that was something that certainly needed done. Your listeners know that fairgrounds gets used every Wednesday. Is what
Sure,
farmers market,
right?
We have the steam show, we have the band shows,
Sure.
we have steeplechase. They're always riding. The fairgrounds certainly gets used. And I understand there's projects underway with the kitchen, it's dead set. I know its address is 44622, but you could say it's between Philly and Dover, which is our largest populations in the county. And so it gets used a lot. It gets seen a lot.
Yes.
One of the things, this electric, not to be an alarmist, but one of the lines was only about 6 inches down and was near where some of the farmers market tents get put in with stakes in the ground.
Wow.
So you might imagine.
Yes.
I mean, the good Lord was actually looking out for us.
Sure.
Thank God that no one ever put a stake in one of those electric lines. So things need to be done there for safety, for use, for optimal, utilizing of the fair. And the next big thing to tackle was the water lines.
Okay. So again, people have to understand that it's not just unlocking those gates once a year and opening and letting everybody in. There's a lot behind the scenes that is happening.
It's amazing.
A successful run for the 169th Tuscarawas County Fair.
Yeah.
Other issues going on right now. This is going to be huge as we wind down 2019 and get ready for 2020, because that is a census time, and you've been explaining to our listeners how important it is to get every person counted, because it means dollars coming back to our county.
It does.
And so this is going to be one of the most critical items that we're going to deal with here in the next several months. And we'll be hearing more and more about this as the day gets closer. I believe the actual census day will be April 1st. So just to give you an idea, this is what you guys are really working on right now.
Yeah, you're spot on. And I'm going to say thank you publicly for WBTC's participation in this project. Certainly, we had the big meeting last night, which you attended. It is so very important, like you articulated so well, that we get an accurate count, because each person, or belly button as they say, each person represents $1,800 back in federal funds that we receive in this county each year.
And if so, you do the math. I mean, you miss 10 people. That's a big number.
That's exactly almost $20,000.
Yeah, this money could be used for things that need taken care of here in the county.
Yeah. And the challenge is out there. I just want to challenge the listeners with this. And regardless of what you think about the federal government, they are the largest taxers that we have, right? 7.5 per income. Doesn't matter how many people in a house, right? Everybody has a job. At least they're paying that FICA tax.
Right.
And we want those monies to come back home.
Sure.
And it represents, in a year's time, we're told $685 billion. These numbers are staggering. Can't even think about them. They're so big. But from the Carolinas to California, $685 billion annually are allocated based on what our census is for the area. That affects our schools, our roads. That affects Medicare reimbursement for those in healthcare at Trinity, at Cleveland Clinic Union. And so, those numbers affect everything. And at the same time, they can level set us if they're not looking and understanding at where we are on a year-to-year basis.
And this is something, the census itself, they do this every 10 years. So
yes.
We're coming up on, you miss that, and that you have to wait another 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's so
that's
easy.
Important.
It's every 10 years, and it's also 10 questions. That's all it is.
And the way, and from the meeting yesterday, understanding this, in the way it has been done in the past, you'd receive something in the mail, you'd have to fill it out, drop it back in. You're going to have options this time.
Yes, sir.
We're all online. You have your device in your hand. It should be an easier situation for anybody to be counted because of the technology that is there. But,
you nailed it exactly. You can call in on your phone.
Right.
You can go online on your phone or your computer. You can mail it in. And so, there's those options, those modes of responding back have increased through the years. Call in, online. You can. I think I'm missing one, but it'll be sent to you.
Right.
So if you want to do it the old-fashioned way and send it back in, that's great.
The key is just to get everybody counted.
It is, and it's super confidential. Don't let anyone tell you that this is going to have you do X, Y, Z.
Right.
Don't. And first of all, there's no one off the grid anymore. I'm sorry, there's not. There's cell phone towers everywhere.
True.
Unless you're in Alaska somewhere, you don't ever tease yourself that you're off the grid.
Right.
Okay.
Good point.
But this is very confidential in the fact that even if the highest office in the land wanted to access the information, they would not be able to get it.
Right.
There was a time period in the 80s where we were told President Reagan tried to get, I think I may have mentioned this in one of our last shows possibly, that information to talk to see what demographic in Colorado he was going to be talking to. He called the U.S. Census Bureau, and they said, sorry, Mr. President, it's confidential. Can't give it to you.
Right.
So it's 10 questions. It's very easy. We asked listeners, please do this. Why? We're not saying to do it like Big Brother. We're saying please do this because we're going to get money back in Tuscarawas County.
Exactly.
And that goes into our roads. That goes into our schools. It goes into household income. It goes into everything because if we make more money here, then we are less likely to tax people, right? Money that we need. So, I mean, it's so very important. I know I'm trying to sell this thing, but at the same time, I'm trying to get across that if there's been notions in the past that have been negative, please put those at bay and understand that we're all in this together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And right now they're telling us we're down 500 people, and I think it's ludicrous.
Yeah.
We also found out that they extrapolated it and that there's a 20% area that they guess. They extrapolate it. They look at the surrounding area. Well, hey, we know we're a hub. We have 77. We have a university here. We have large employers. We have great schools. More and more people are moving in. People are living longer. Our schools are saying that they need more space. All those factors tell us there's no way we could have lost 500 people. Even with people having less kids these days, it just doesn't work out that we've lost people.
And you, as a commissioner, can say, hey, we didn't lose. But this is going to put the proof there in numbers. So that's why the importance of being counted. So we'll have more on the census as we work toward 2020. We're talking with Commissioner Joe Sciarretti. A couple of quick updates before we wrap up here this morning. The painting project,
it's coming to an end.
Okay, it's looking good.
Yeah.
That's at the
building's down. Painting is they've done a remarkable job. We're going to have a day where the public can always access it, right? It's your building. You paid for it.
Right.
And it was not looking the best with the wallpaper and the glue coming through the wallpaper. And someone said, geez, you said it looked demoralizing. I said, absolutely I did. I have pictures in my phone. You can look at it and tell yourself if it's workers shouldn't have to work in an area where they see big globs of glue coming out on them.
We did the big project on the dome, the outer part of the courthouse. So this is just part of the interior, and we want to make sure that we're proud of.
35 years later, it lasted for 35 years. They wallpapered the entire office building,
right?
And so we just thought, there's this. We can show pride in the county. We bring people in, you come in.
Sure.
It should be a place that you have county pride in.
Absolutely.
The building's down. They're coming to the close on that before the elements come at. Our budget process is coming to work next week. Coming to the table, pardon me, and interest rates have dropped, which is good in some capacities. But we had a real bonus month last month because of older investments. And so that'll start tapering off now because interest rates, and we have those investments that are, Jeff Mammarella does a fantastic job of investing in Star Ohio on a 1, 3, or 5 year period. And so those are all in motion, but as those come to maturity, we're going to probably see less interest money. But last month alone, we doubled our interest expectation.
Wow.
And so, this is the time to take care of projects like that. And I'm just honored to serve with this board,
Sure.
Commissioner Abio, Commissioner Landis, and hopefully the good Lord's with us and keeps on guiding us and guiding all of it. It's a big tug of war.
Yes,
we're all in this
is.
together.
Well, keep up the good work. Always good to catch up with you, and we'll do it again in October.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Joe Sciarretti, and joining us for a monthly visit here